Hey everyone, welcome back to Keyframe. My name is Bas, and in today's video I'm going to show you how you can illustrate this awesome isometric city. This will be part 1 of 4 though. I'm going to divide this up into 4 videos because we're going to get into a lot of detail here. And in this first part today I will show you the basics of creating this city. So we're going to start by creating some simple gray blocks. So as you can see here, we have this isometric city, the final result that we're going to be working towards in this 4-part series. And you can see that these are all separate building blocks which I created. And in today's video, I'm just going to start with the beginning, of course, and we're just creating these simple gray blocks, which will be the foundation of all buildings. So today we're going to create these ones, and then in the next videos we're going to add windows, details, colors, shadows, and just add the finishing touches, and then afterwards bring everything together into one nice cool scene. So first off, we're going to start with these blocks here. I have this isometric grid already made here, and I've made a video about this, how you can create a grid like this. It will be linked in the description down below, and you can watch that first if you want, if you need to know how to start with these basics of isometric design. So watch that video if you want to create this grid, and if you did that, we're going to start with the very basics here and just create a nice little square. Just make this gray like that, and we're going to click here, and let's go 7 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 this way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 that way, and 7 is just a random number here. It's just what I did. And then we're going to select this point and then hold shift to go perfectly straight down to this anchor point here, and then to here, straight up and over there. Like that. So now we have this basic building. I'm just going to give it the same colors as the other one I did here, and we're just going to do this in gray right now. So because there's no need for color right now, because we're just creating the basics, the building blocks. So we're going to add those colors in later. So this is my very first base building. So we can already see in part 4 here that we have this shape, which is just basically this shape, but with an added roof, some windows, some color, and some shadow here, which is pretty easy to do, of course. And then you can see in these other buildings here, this one as well, this has that same building here in the middle as well, just added a lot of details to it to make the building look a bit different. The same goes here, you can have the same building block in the middle here. The same here with just a little cutout of it, and here just with a roof that's going to be a bit higher and slanted. So I'm just going to select all of this and press Command G to group it. So now this is one shape, and I'm going to hold Option on my keyboard and Shift, and then drag it to the right and just make it align on this grid. So now I have a copy of this shape. Put it a bit further here, and make another copy over there, and make another one over here. So we have, I thought we had 4 buildings, right? Oh, 5. Oh yeah, and the basic one just stays there, of course. So like this. So now we have all these building blocks. I'm going to lock this one because we're done with that, because this is the basic one. Then the easiest one is just selecting these 3 points, like these, to put your white arrow, select these points here, holding Shift and this point, and just drag that up, holding Shift, like this, and then we have that building as well. So that's also done. You can lock that. I'm locking stuff, by the way, by selecting it and pushing Command 2 on my keyboard, which locks this whole layer because I don't need it anymore. So that's done for. And now let's create this one. It's also one of the more easier ones. So we're going to do that right here. So what I can do is I'm going to double click on this roof layer here, so I can isolate it. Double click again. And I'm going to add a key what do you call it? An anchor point. Yeah, an anchor point. Right there and right there. I'm just going to drag this one in. Oh, just zoom in to make it snap to the grid, of course. Whoops. Yeah, there you go. So that's that already. And then we're going to do the same. Not the same. We're going to select this point with the white arrow and this point. Put it over there. And these ones over there. Easy. And we're going to recreate these little walls in between here. I'm going to give this the same color as this one, of course, so the shadow is correct. So I do work with darker and brighter gray colors here, so I can see like the shadows and stuff. But actual color, we'll add that later on. So now we have this little cutout, and in here I made this little extra thingy on top. So I'm going to do that right now. So maybe let's make this 1, 2, 3 high, and then to here, here, and here. Oh no, this is too big, so it needs to go to that place. Yes. All right, and then let's do the same over here. I can just drag this over here, right click, go to transform, and then reflect, and then hit OK, and then it's reflected. So as you can see, it reflected to that side, and now I could just snap it to the point there, give this the same color as this wall. All right, and I'm gonna go in here to this point, make it all go straight, go 3 up, give that this color, of course, and then do the same here. I'm using the eyedropper tool with the letter I on the keyboard to just pick colors quickly. And then we're going to just fill this roof up here. Like that, boom, and that's done. And you can hold Command on your keyboard and press colon, and then you can turn on or off the grid or your guides. So as you can see, we have that building finished as well. So if I just select all the, I think everything is not grouped. No, just select all these shapes I just created. These two, I'm going to press Command X and then double click on this thing that is still grouped here, and then press Command F to paste it in place, and then click out of it, and now it's all within this own group. So that's finished. And what I can do is select this point and of this shape and this shape together, go to my Pathfinder and then go to my Unite, and then it'll just, oh, it needs to be, I just need to make it overlap a little bit, and then Unite, and then we have this one shape here, and do the same with this one, boom. So just to make it nice and clean. All right, cool. And now we're going to go to this building. Let's just recreate this one here. Just going to drag that down. Oh, I see that this is not grouped. Drag that down here. Okay. And what I did here, as you can see, let's just deconstruct this. It's really easy. Just press Command Shift G to ungroup it. And again, because it's multiple groups, we have this part here, which is again just really easy. This basic block with then these little blocks around it, and this whole shape is then combined and made a bit shorter and put on top, and then the really quick and easy way to create this little tower on top. So just these corners need to be filled in. And as you can see, if I just drag this over here and just place it on top, you can see that this just those little corners right there is not on the grid anymore, but that's no problem. So what we're going to do is we're going to create these corners on the grid there. So just create this one like that, and just place it down here, by the way. Just make this a different color right now so you can see it better. Yep. And then we're going to go down here. Okay, and then again this part. I'm just going to give these the same colors then. I'm going to group them together. So now press Command G while selecting all three of them, and then I have this group. And then I'm going to drag that up while holding Option and Shift and just place it on the correct position there. And then press Command Shift in bracket, or you can go right click and then arrange send to back, so it's behind this building now. And then do the same thing here, drag it to the left and place it on this corner here. Hope it's not straight. And then right click, arrange, bring to front. But we're going to deal with that later. So in this case, we can just delete this part here. So we don't need it. No, we do need it though. Wait, I'll just change that later. And then drag this one over there. And as you can see, what I said, I made these a bit smaller because these are not on the grid and my building is on the grid. So what I can do now is just select this, all of these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and then go to my scale tool here, double click on it, and like make it 90%. That's a bit smaller, like that. and then just lock this main building. I'm just going to put this on the grid here again. Where is that? Over there. And why I use this to scale to 90 with my scale tool, so everything is like scaled perfectly to the same width or whatever you want. And then I'm going to select this point here and this point, and I'm going to drag them over here where our building starts. So now that looks more realistic. And just going to do the same thing with this one. Turn on the grid. I love to turn on and off the grid constantly just to get a better view of what's happening. Because I have a lot more a clear view without the grid on. So that's why I'm turning it off and on constantly. So there we have our corners of this building, looking good. And then let's just put that over there. You can see that this is just a smaller part of this one. Just first I'm going to make these the same height though. Let's lock this part. Yeah, this is locked. Like that, so it looks a bit cleaner. All right. Oh, and this one, of course, as well. It needs to be up a little bit, so that's a bit. But it doesn't really matter. We're not going to see this afterwards, of course, but it's just to make it nice and neat. So this is all press Command Option 2 to unlock everything again. And I want this whole thing to be one shape, so we're going to press Command G. So now this is like one group. Then I'm going to drag this up. So I'm going to hold Option and Shift and then drag it up. And I'm going to double click. So I'm in this group. Get my white tool and just select this whole bottom part here, all of these these anchor points. And then we're going to drag that up while holding Shift as well. So now I'll just make this smaller, less high version of this building here. And now I can just hold Option and Shift on my keyboard while I'm just scaling this down. So while holding Option, it keeps it proportionate. While holding, or Shift, sorry, holding Shift will keep it proportionate, and holding Option will scale it to the middle and not to the corner you're pointing at. So it just goes to the middle. So just make that a bit smaller, like that, and then place that down here. So you kind of match how this looks, like this, the width of this. So now we have this building on top, and then we have, so that's really easy, that's that. And then we have this little building right here, a little tower, which is pretty easy. We're just going to create this little, let's see how high we want this, something like this. It's kind of the same as the main building here, but just really small. Give it the correct color instantly so I can see what's going on. Give it a little roof. Okay, and then I can select my pen tool here and go, I want this this little pointy roof here. So we're going to go to the middle of this roof here, like right there. And then like that. We should just give this the same color now. Select both of these and group them, Command G, and then scale that down a little bit. And then place that down here. And I did not group this one, I think. No, so select that one and group that. And now we have this group, we have this group, we have this group and this group. Yeah. Okay, and now I can of course group all of these things together. So select all of them and group that. So now we have this one big main building. So that's done. I think this is a bit too big for my taste, so make it a bit smaller. And this then as well. So when you're done with creating a shape and you want to scale it down because it looks better, then it's not on the grid anymore, but that's no problem. It is still on the grid, because if you just align it to the grid, then it's still perfectly straight, but it's just not as big as these little blocks on the grid anymore. But that's no problem, because it still needs to be isometric, but it doesn't have to be perfectly straight on the grid for it to look good. So just don't be afraid to scale things down when you're done creating them, or scale things up, whatever you want. I think this is a bit too high, so I'm going to open this up, double click, in this group, select my white tool and press so I can select all these bottom ones, and press up a few times, and then select both of these and down. Nice, looks pretty good. Okay, let's delete this one here. And then we're going to create this building, which is also pretty easy. Let's do that right there, because it's also the same building blocks again, just a different way of adding new stuff to it. So in this case, we have this main building here. Oops, as you can see, or just have these blocks around it, and again a copy on top, and just a normal block on top of that. So as you can see, this is pretty easy stuff, and it all looks pretty different already. And if you go to the final version, it all looks really different. But that's because you're going to add different colors and windows and everything, and just details. But we're going to do that later on. So first on this one. So just I think this is 2 blocks, 2 blocks, and then 3 blocks, because we have 4 blocks. So 1, 2 in, and then 1, 2, 3 blocks wide. Okay, nice. And then let's create this one first. So down. Okay, same color as this one. That's 3. All right, so that's 1 block finished, and I can Command G them to group it. So now we have 1 shape. I'm going to drag that over here with, again, holding Option and Shift, right-clicking, Transform, Reflect. All right, and then it's just zooming in and then placing it on the grid there. Boom. And what I can do now is just copy or drag this over there, place it there. I can open it up, delete this one, and just right-click, Arrange, Send to Back. So now it's behind there. And do the same with this shape over there, Send to Back. I don't even have to delete that part, but it's just, why not? So now we have this building block here. Select all of them. Oh, change the colors first, of course. So this needs to be this color, and this needs to be that. And this is okay, and this needs to be this. So make it all work, yeah. So this is 1 shape, group it together, and then drag it up here, double click to go into it, select all of these bottom anchor points and scale them up, the whole thing, and scale it down a little bit and place it on top here. Nice. Something like this. And then just drag this up again while holding Option and Shift to make a copy, delete these blocks around it. We have the basic block again, scale that down, boom, boom, that was a fast one. So as you can see, it's, if you just have you've got the hang of it, of creating stuff on the grid, you can just add multiple blocks and just easy stuff. I'll just do one more for you guys, because while I created this separate build, because as you can see here, this is a separate building, but this is just the regular block combined with another regular block. This is a bit longer. So really quick and easy way to do this. I'm just going to show it easily like this, and then go in here, and you can just drag those out, and then you have that building already. But I'm going to create another one for you guys, because I already also made this one, which is a little bit different, because it has this corner going around it. So that's also really easy. I'm going to let's see. Do that with, yeah, this I can delete this one. Let's put them all to the side here to have a bit more clear view. Put this here. We're going to recreate this one right now as the last building. So this has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, around 10. You see that I scaled it down as well, because it's not on the grid anymore. But let's say 10 blocks wide. So we're going to add 3 more here. 1, 2, 3. So it's a bit bigger. And then we're going to go, let's say, yeah, a couple of them down. It's just, we can do it by heart, it's no problem. So let's go start here, I guess. Do this point right there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say 5. Yeah. and then go to this point and make it, so give this the same color as the roof so it's a bit more clear. Yeah, like that. All right. Then we can copy this one all the way over there on the same line here. Place that behind everything. And I think that's in the right way. Correct? Yeah, that's correct. Wait, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to delete it first. I'm just going to make this a bit longer first. And how many blocks was that? Like 3 or 4. Like 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks to that side. Yes. And then I'm going to the back. Right, so now we have this shape, and this shape to create the separate roof here. What I can actually do maybe is a bit cleaner to just have this stop right there at the edge. This one as well. Overlap them a bit, select them and then pathfinder them so it's one shape. It's a bit cleaner, and then select both of these shapes. Oh, and I could do the same thing with this, by the way. Why not? Yeah. Cool. And then I could just create these. I think this is just... oh, as you can see here, of course, this is not all the way through on a building, so it needs to be a bit shorter. So this one needs to go in like 3 blocks. So that means that this will only be visible on this little corner here, because as you can see that this line needs to be aligned with this line here. Yeah, so now this is like nicely aligned. So now we have the building looking better, and then we're going to create this walls as well. So let's go here and then down. Like that. Just finish this building off here. And the same with here, but here we're going to, let's see, we're going to have to finish on this one here to make it get the correct perspective. So like this. Same color as that. Boom. So you have this building kind of. So that's also really easy with basic building blocks. So let's say I want to group this whole thing together and I want to make this a bit longer. Drag it up on the grid here. There you go. Select all of these bottom shapes here. And then all of these. And then drag them down. Boom, you have a longer building. Really easy. So that's it for this video. We have these basic building blocks right now to create. Let's just get that out of the way. Just get these ones here. Oh, and my base building is gone. So I'll just duplicate this one. Let's just delete this. So I have my base back. Okay, so this is our basis of creating all of these buildings here. And in the next video, I'm going to add, I think, the windows, because it's a nice little trick for that, to give it a lot of detail already. And let's add some color as well. So just we have a bit more of a clear view of what's happening, like not this boring gray blocks here. So next video we're going to add the windows and we're going to add the colors. In the video after that, the third part, we're going to create all of these details and adding those to the scene. And then in part 4, we're going to bring everything together into one big happy family, adding the shadows and adding some more effects here and there to make it look cool. So that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you liked this video, and if you did, please consider subscribing to the channel if you aren't already, and I hope to see you on the next tutorial on Keyframe. Thank you. Bye bye.